Good day everyone, I'm from Team 7. In this time, I want to present our mini research project with the title Contrastive Analysis between Batak Simalungun and English Language Analyzing Code Mixing. But before it, I want to introduce myself. My name is Febi Sulistia and my academic number 17120029. Now, we are going to Chapter 1 Introduction. A. Background of research. Contrastive analysis is the systematic study of a pair language with a view to identifying their structural differences and similarities. The word contrastive analysis implies that is it more interest between language than being interest in language families and history. Contrastive analysis is a method to distinguish to learn by the target language learner by evaluating language. Contrastive analysis is a technique to identify whether two languages have something common. Which assesses both similarities and differences in language, contrastive analysis traces the influence of the mother tongue in learning a second language in a phonological, morphological, lexical, and syntactic level. Code mixing is natural in communication as there is a mutual need or interdependence among bilinguals or multilinguals. Code mixing occurs with the need to play a social role in society by communicators. For example, one is meant to be considered the old of the English era when he or she mix the other language. Say it is to Indonesian as seen in this example. Good morning, apa kabar? The transfer of linguistic element from one language into another is code mixing. In other words, it is only partially transferred that those elements mix together for communication purpose. In this part, the writer focused to find contrastive analysis about the culture of Batak's language and English language. B. The problem of the research. Problem in this research, I try to solve the problem and make them easier to understand by giving further explanation about contrastive analysis between Batak Simalungun and English language. The problem to be investigated are: first, how are the phonological processes of sound errors in Batak Simalungun and English language? Second, how are morphological of suffix in Batak Simalungun and English language? Third, how are lexical and syntactic level in Batak Simalungun and English language? Fourth, are there any correspondences, partly correspondences, and non-correspondences of analysis of form, distribution, function, and meaning of suffixes in both languages? And next, C. Limitation of the research. In conducting the research, the limitation of this research is for mixing the Batak Simalungun and English language when two or more peoples are talking in public. But there are any differences about these two languages that we must use it in context of our topic that has been taught. In here, we just do a research for knowing how effective that we mix these two languages and can or cannot if we mix them. The main problem that only we do is phonological, morphological, lexical correspondences, partly correspondences, and non-correspondences of these two languages. And next, the objective of the research. Objective in this study are as follows. First, to know and understand the phonological process of sound errors in the Batak Simalungun and English language. Second, to be able to understand how the suffix process in the Batak Simalungun and English language. Third, to know and understand the lexical and syntactic levels in the Batak Simalungun and English language. Fourth, to know and understand whether there is a correspondence, some correspondence, and non-correspondence analysis of the form, distribution, function, and meaning of suffixes in both languages. And last, E. Significance of the research. The result of this research is hoped to be useful theoretically and practically for the following people. First, for English teacher and learners and lecturers. English teacher are people who teach sociolinguistic subjects such as dialogue, lingua franca, style, slang, jargon, pidgin, and crawl, and so on. As for English lecturer are those who give lectures, seminars, and also do the observation like this so that can enlarge researchers on this topic. And for the readers, this research will be expect for reader to enrich their knowledge in dialogue focus on both of language, Batak Simalungun and English language. And other researchers their result is hoped to be useful for other researchers continuing researches or observation. And next chapter will be continued by my friends.
Okay, my name is Santi Roulina Fentisia Pasaribu and NPM 171200015 Group A. Now, I will continue my friend about contrastive analysis between Batak Simalungun and English language analysis, code mixing, and I will presentation about chapter 2. Chapter 2, Review of Related Literature. Number 1, Sociolinguistic. Definition: sociolinguistic is the descriptive study of the effect of any and all aspects of society, include cultural norms, expectation, and context. Types of sociolinguistic is number 1, dialect, number 2, lingual franca, number 3, style, number 4, slang, and number 5, jargon, and number 6, speaking and curl. Types of code mixing. According to Suito, code mixing is divided into two types. A. Inner code mixing, in which happen because element insertion from original language with all its variation. B. Outer code mixing, in which none. Type of code mixing, according to Muskin, divide into three main types. Number 1, insertion or word praise. Number 2, alternation, and number 3, congruent lexical lesion or dialect. Different and similarities of Simalungun and English in analyzing code mixing. In Indonesia language, berlari, English language, run, and Simalungun language, marlitun. Indonesia language, duduk, English language, sit, Simalungun language, hundul. Indonesia language, kecil, English language, small, Simalungun language, attack. Indonesia language, rumah, English language, house, and Simalungun language, jabu. Here, I give you example of code mixing between Simalungun and English language. Teacher, good morning student. Student, good morning guru. Teacher, how are you for today? Set dohanima. Set dohanima is Simalungun language. Student, very well. Set tumang pa. Set tumang is Simalungun language. Teacher, today Hita marsiajar conversation. Hita marsiajar Simalungun language, conversation is English language. Student, okay pa. Teacher, yesterday Hita do marsiajar vocabulary. Marsiajar, Hita marsiajar Simalungun language and vocabulary English. Any of you still remember tentangai? Tentangai is Simalungun language. Student, we will still ingat pa. Teacher, okay, good. Student, ya pa. From this conversation, we can conclude that code mixing between Simalungun and English language have close relationship. Okay, and the next chapter 3 continue, my friend. Thank you.
Hello guys, my name is Yulita evinora saragih. My academic number is 17120024. Alright, in this chance, I want to explain about our mini research, namely Chapter 3. In Chapter 3, there is research design. Research design is defined as framework of methods and techniques chosen by a researcher to combine various components of research in reasonably logical manner so that the research problem is efficiently handled. Alright, research design characteristic, the first is neutrality. The research project in research design should be free from bias and neutral. Understand opinion about the final evaluation, score, and conclusion. And the second, reliability. Reliability, if a research is conducted on a regular basis, the researcher involved expects similar results to be calculated every time. Research design should indicate how the research question can be formed to ensure the standard of obtained result, and this can happen only when the research design is reliable. Validity. There are multiple measuring tools available for research design, but valid measuring tools are those which help a researcher in judging results according to the objective of the research. A researcher must have clear understanding the various types of research to decide or select which type implementation for a study. Research design can be broadly classified into quantitative and qualitative design. In the research, we focus using qualitative research method. The researcher used this method because think this method can help the researcher in research to see the effect of using English song to encourage student speaking ability in SMP Negeri 1 Pematang Siantar, grade 8. The design of research topic is used to explain the type of the research by using experimental, survey, correlation, semi-experimental, review, and also experimental design research problem measurement. Okay, in this research, researcher focus to use data collection where the researcher finds some data and make analysis. Quantitative research design is implemented in case where it's important for a researcher to have statistic conclusion to collect actionable insight. Quantitative research design is important for the growth of any organization because any conclusion drawn on the basis of number and analysis will only prove to be effective over the business. Okay, now I want to explain about population and sample in the research. The population is the number of living people that live together in the same place. A city population is the number of living in the city. These people are called inhabitation of the region. And then sample is small part of quantity intended to show what the whole is like. Investigation involve amazing of sample of handwriting. Okay, in this research, the researcher used probability sampling methods, namely simple random sampling. In this case, each individual is chosen entirely by chance and each member of population has an equal chance. The instrument of research. Instrument of research is general term research used for a measurement device, survey, test, and questionnaire. Instrument research are tools developed by researchers to achieve their state objective when carrying out a research of study. In the other words, research instruments are design tools that aid to collection of the data for the purpose of analysis. Here are several types in the research, namely questionnaire, interview, and achievement test. Questionnaire is which can be structured and unstructured, and then interview which can be structured and unstructured as well as but has to person or through telephone. Achievement test, this is a form of instrument that are mainly used in school that determine in the performance of the students. In the research, we focus use to achievement test because researchers want to know ability using English and Simulation language and code mixing. Okay, my friend, thank you.
Hello, my name is Shalsa. My NPM is 17120032, and I will present about our research chapter 4, the result of analysis. In this chapter, we are present the finding of the research about contrastive analysis between English and Simalungun language. Both of these language is really different in languages. So here's the example of English and Simalungun language. Example number 1 is bagaimana kabarmu, and in English how are you, and in Simalungun is naha kabarmu. And another example is di mana kamu, in English is where are you, also in Simalungun is ijaho. And both of Simalungun and English language have a different in using language, but have one meaning. Sometimes we use different language in conversation, or we can mix some languages in conversation. The example is hundul in Simalungun and sit in English. When we add in hundul become hundulan, it means place for sitting. The example in sentence is one day au hundul-hundul with my friend in rumahku. The meaning is one day we are sitting together with my friend in my house. In this sentence, we can analyze each word. In Simalungun letter R, we must read with strong sentence. The example is rumahku. But in sentence my friend, we must read letter R with slow. Why? Because in English language, when we want to read some text or sentence by using letter R, it but called silent letter. But in Simalungun, the letter R is very important. So that's why we read the letter R with strong voice. Okay, that's all about chapter 4. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Madonna Samosir, MPM 171200035. I will continue chapter 5, conclusion. Constructive analysis is the systematic study of a pair of language with a view to identifying their structural differences and similarities. The word constructive analysis implies that is it more interested between language than being interested in language families and story. Constructive analysis is a method to distinguish to learn by the target language learner by evaluating language. Code mixing is natural in communication, as there is a mutual need or interdependence among bilinguals and multilinguals. Code mixing occurs with the need to play a social role in society by communicators. For example, one is meant to be considered the all of the English era when he or she mix with the other language. Says it is to Indonesia as seen in this example. Good morning, apa kabar? The transfer of linguistic elements from one language into others is code mixing. In other words, it is only partially transferred that those elements mix together from communication purpose. Research design is defined as a framework of methods and techniques chosen by a researcher to combine various components of research in a reasonably logical manner so that the research problem is efficiently handled. It provides insight about how to conduct research using a particular methodology. Every research has a list of research questions which need to be accessed. This can be done with research design. The paper starts by making a brief explanation about constructive analysis. Then it continues further by giving many examples of differences and similarities between two languages, Indonesia and English. This constructive analysis may not provide a very significant role to scholars, yet in certain cases it helps much to learners or to teachers of English language to give them a clear picture about differences between two languages in code mixing. Thank you.